Hello and welcome to another instrument workshop. In this instrument workshop we're going to be looking at a Mason Hamlin organ style T. It does have a serial number on it as well. Rather loud motorbike going past. Does have a serial number on it, so I have been able to date it. I do know for a fact that this organ is from the 1870s. So it's actually the oldest instrument I've got. Now, I've got so much work to do on this that I'm going to turn this into a series of videos. Today, really, I'm going to be giving you a bit of an introduction to the organ. I'm going to show you the pedals as well, because the pedals are actually made out of a much softer wood than the rest of the organ. It was living in an outbuilding when I saved it. I rescued it from a friend of a friend who was going through a divorce and the house was being sold, so it had to go. Yeah, it was in an outbuilding, a wooden outbuilding. The pedals were quite badly riddled with woodworm when I rescued it, so they came off immediately. It was over 2 years ago now that I actually did go and collect it in my van. It's been on my list of things to do for such a long time. Yeah, it's time for me now to just get on with it and get it done. So I'll just show you the pedals. Look, they did have carpet on them. They were taken apart as soon as it came through the front door. You know, I certainly didn't have time to make a video, or even was I even thinking about making a video. If I just show you that, look. You can see all the woodworm in this one. There was woodworm in this one as well, even though you can't see it on the back. But what I did do is completely take all of this apart. I took the carpet off that was on the pedals as well, and I gave them a good woodworm treatment. So yes, what I am going to do today, I'm going to put the pedals back on. I've literally put this back together in the last few days. I did put this rubber on, which I actually think is quite fetching. I find it interesting that one pedal isn't as big as the other. One is shorter than the other. They obviously didn't care about that sort of thing in the 1870s. Yeah, I'm certainly not too worried. I think the black rubber looks better than manky old carpet, which is what I normally see on the Harmonium of this style. So yes, I'm going to put the pedals back on. I know I've got a massive problem with the bellows. Again, I remember going to collect it. I knew it was the Mason Hamlin. Now, Mason Hamlin, they're an American company. They're actually known even to this day as being the premier American piano manufacturer. If you want an American piano, you buy a Mason Hamlin. They even to this day, they really value their craftsmanship. I think they still really strive to use all American materials as well. Yeah, this is from the 1870s. I think Mason Hamlin started in 1854. So Steinway started in 1853, Mason and Hamlin 1854. I think Yamaha started around about 1899, 1900. So yes, I mean these guys, they know a thing or two about organs and pianos. So yes, I think I'm digressing now. This has also got a very nice feature. It's got something called a Vox Humana in it. Okay, so we've got the sound box at the back. What I will do, if I just remove this camera quickly, I'll show you the inside. So the Vox Humana, which is activated using these buttons here, so on for on or off. But what this is, so it's inside the sound box, and it's literally just a piece of card that spins as you're playing. And what that does, it kind of gives you, oh, it's got a lovely smell to it. Oh yeah, it smells lovely in there. It smells old. Yeah, that kind of creates a vibrato effect as you're playing. I mean, this really is a lovely instrument. I've got loads of work to do. I've got a huge amount of work to do. But it really is going to be lovely by the time I finish with it. So the other thing we do have, we've got this knee swell here. It's got a clip. It will have a clip to hold it in place. So yeah, we've got this knee swell that you can use while you're playing. Now, ultimately, what that will do is it will make the organ louder as you swell it. And if you can see in here, you can actually see something move as I swell it. And I think what that will be doing is going to be opening up a gap into the sound box at the back. And this is why we've got this opening at the front as well, you know, to ultimately let the sound out. So, I mean, you can get organs with two swells. I'm pleased to have one with just the one. That's brilliant. That is absolutely superb. So yeah, it's got some very nice features. We've got 4 stops. So I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know, because I've never had a harmonium like this apart. But I'm assuming, do I have 4 sets of reeds? I'm assuming, as I've got 4 stops. I mean, it might be the case that I've got 2 sets of reeds, and that the different stops do different things or open up different channels into those 2 sets of reeds. I don't know. What I do know is that there'll be a lot of reeds in there, and it's going to take me a long time to tune it. But, you know, oh, isn't she lovely? She's absolutely beautiful. I love the way the keys have got a few pieces missing as well. You know, again, I'm not too worried about restoring it in terms of how it looks. I don't want to restore it. I don't want to strip it, revarnish it, make it look absolutely superb again. I think I am going to have to put another shelf on here. I'm just going to have to. Not quite sure what I'm going to make it out of yet. And I will have to do it a similar shape to this one. This one I don't think is bad enough for me to really worry about replacing it, because I can... Oh, see my mess on my dining room table, but I can, you know, that's still great for a candle. So that one can stay as it is. But I will have to put something here, definitely. Definitely. Anyway, I digress massively. As I stand in awe of its beauty, I think I should probably just get on and put the pedals back on. Right, let me pop that camera back where it was. I'm sure the angle can't be too bad. Okay, so I've got my jar of screws. I actually can't remember, because it was so long ago, I can't remember exactly how they worked. I've actually got, yeah, because I keep everything in jars. I did find a couple of the pieces from the fronts inside it, because I inspected for even more woodworm. I wanted to know that we didn't have any more woodworm. So I went over it with a fine tooth comb to double check that. Anyway. Everything okay for that? Yes, it is. So this has got to go back on the front, I know that much. We'll probably end up with a bit of a fast forward going on here as well. It's going to have to come up on its side. I'm going to have to pull it out. And pop it up on its side as well. Oh, actually what I am going to do, little tip for you. These are quite big screws. They are quite big screws. What I am going to do, I don't want them coming apart again. How deep are the holes? They don't seem that deep. Only about that deep. What I am going to do is just pop a bit of matchstick in each of the old holes as well. Yeah, there's a little tip for you. When you're taking old things apart, often the screws will just spin when you go to tighten them up at the end. You'll just have one that spins. If you pop a bit of matchstick in there first, you're just creating a nice little bung. And it won't want to come apart again. What I'm trying to do as well, when I'm putting this back together, I'm putting plenty of force that way, so that I've got no gap between the two pieces of wood. I'm putting loads of force that way. Especially with these old screws, because that's quite a thick piece of wood. What you don't want to end up with is a gap at the end. Yeah. And the other thing I am going to do is not tighten it up completely as tight as I can get it until I've got all three screws in. Do the two ends first. I don't like flathead screws. I'd much prefer posi drive. But I'm not going to put new screws in it. Again, my feeling is, why did they use flathead screws all the time back in those days? But it needs to keep its original screws as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, some people might think, I'll put a longer screw in, for example, yeah, and use a new one. No, I'll put a matchstick in and keep the original, thank you very much. Right, so, I obviously need to now attach these straps to the actual pedals themselves. I'm going to have to look around the back in order to see how they came off. So I've got these brackets, and this is no doubt about holding the strap away from the pedal as you're pedalling, and these hold them in place. I've got a couple of other screws as well. I remember that's what held them on. I just can't remember exactly how they went. So I'm going to have to look around the back to see what's going on. It's quite big. It's reasonably heavy. can move her. I wouldn't be able to pick her up and take her into my workshop come recording building. Ah. Yeah, I'm going to have to lift her up on her side then, because I can't see round the back either. No, I can't see round the back. We have to see from underneath. Yeah, I'm doing this video obviously in this room because that's where she's going to live, and she's not easily movable. Right, can I lift her onto... So can I see what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I am going to have to remove the back to get the bellows off as well. Was it this side that moved? Or do I just have a memory that isn't real? So that looks like, yeah. Okay. Let's just have a look at one of these brackets. Does it go like that? I mean, it does look like it, because that's just to hold. It does look like it. Look at that one, yeah. So again, what I'll do, I'll remove this camera for you, so as I can just show you. On both of these straps, I can see the actual round of these. Okay. So again, on this one I can. This one actually looks like it's disintegrating slightly. I'm sure I'll be able to replace the straps. But again, I can see that roundness. So to me, it looks like what's actually happening, or how it was put together before, is that that metal bracket went on first. Because again, there is no hole representing this hole here. There is no hole in this there. So to me, that went on first, like that, and then the strap went on over the top with that going through it. That is definitely how they were, because I can see. I am slightly intrigued as to why we've also got those two holes in that bung. don't know whether I said before, but it was a long time ago that I took the pedals off. Everything that came off, I mean, did they have some tacks in? Every part that came off was kept together. I am finding that slightly interesting. Anyway, what I will do is get on with putting it back together. I've moved the cameras so as that you can hopefully see what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to put a bit of matchstick in those holes. You don't want your matchstick sticking out further than the hole, because then you're perhaps creating a gap. So that wants to go like that. And also I need to get it so that the hole lines up. Still moving slightly. Again, I won't tighten that up completely until I actually put the strap back. As I said, I'm not a fan of flathead screws. Ooh. But that's what they used in the 1870s. There's an interesting fact. When did the Phillips screw come out? And indeed, when did the posi drive screw come out? Because that would have been after Phillips. So this one went in at quite an angle when they made the thing, because it's obviously following the hole. This one was at quite an angle. Come on, Mason and Hamlin, I thought you were renowned for your craftsmanship. Right, so that goes on there, and then we're literally coming through here. I'm going to make sure I use the same holes. And there. And we're screwing into there. Yeah, these holes don't make a lot of sense because there are no holes in the metal behind it. I'm sure that's how it's come off though. I feel so confident that that is exactly how it has come off. I can see the circle on the to me that is definitely how it's come off. And we can see that bellows working. I cannot see anything moving. So I am wondering if I've had a memory that isn't real. That would be a bonus. So I'm just making sure that the strap is pretty straight as well and runs fairly well in line. As I tighten these up. Maybe I should have tightened that up better while it was... get to this one all right. Right. I think I'm probably going to end up replacing the straps anyway. Interestingly, the bellows themselves, I don't know whether you can see, but this is quite a modern material. So at some stage, the bellows has actually been repaired. Now, I cannot see the movement that I was talking about before. Ah, I can. We've got some movement here. This is where there's an issue. We have got some movement. Actually, on both sides. There's something wrong here that is letting air out. That's the actual problem. We're getting a gap created here. So I am going to have to remove the bellows to see what's going on. Right, well, I think what I probably should do, I'm going to turn it back the right way around again and have a quick little go on it. Can I get it the right way up? So yes, I think the bellows coming out will actually be the next video, because that is probably all I really have time for today. I'm liking the look. I am liking the look of the pedals. I think they look quite good like that. healer. Oh, that's interesting. Do I need to have the higher stop sound? That's interesting. So as you can see, we've got quite a few problems. They will all be sorted out in future parts of this video series. So thank you for watching part 1. I look forward myself to part 2. I do hope I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. I don't think I have. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, I do really want to get this instrument back to full glory. I'd love to be sat here in my lounge, just digging my Mason and Hamlin organ. That would be fantastic. So yes, thank you for watching, and yeah, please tune in for part 2 when it actually gets here. Thank you very much. Goodbye.